Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. I'm Jenny.
And I'm Andrew, and along with our cats Winston and Pierre, who are right here on the side of us, we make up 4 expats, 1 adventure.
And today we're going to be talking about visas.
Yes, this is a video we had hoped to make sooner. We've been in Bangkok now for 6 months.
Yeah.
But in fact, we wanted to wait till everything was settled. But unfortunately, it's not, and we'll get into that a little bit as well. But it's a video that we think is important. You know, I want people to try and avoid some of the mistakes and things that are happening to us still. So hopefully this video is helpful. And all the links and all the information we're going to have is going to be in the description. There's going to be a lot of information there, but we'll try and cover as much as we can during the video to help you out.
And just a little disclaimer, we're not lawyers nor visa agents.
Yes.
So we're just sharing with you guys what worked and what has not worked for us.
Good. I'm glad you said that. All right, well, let's get started.
Let's do it. Okay, first question. What is the non-immigrant O visa and who is it for?
All right, so the non-immigrant O visa, which is also called the retirement visa, is for people like myself who are over 50 years old and looking to retire or move to Thailand long term.
Okay.
There's actually 10 different types of visas called non-O or non-immigrant O. One of those has to do with retirement, and that's one we'll focus on. There's also other types of retirement visas, the non-OA, the non-OX, and the LTR. And we'll go over each of those, just to give you a sense of how they work and what the differences are. So the financial requirements are different for each of them. For the non-O, you have to have 800,000 Thai baht in a Thai bank account. That's equal to like $28,000. The non-OA, same thing, although a distinction here is you can have the money in a home bank or foreign bank or a Thai bank. Big distinction. Mm-hmm. Then the non-OX, you have to have 3 million Thai baht, which is about near $100,000 in a Thai bank. And then the LTR visa has the highest financial requirements. You have to have $1 million in assets, essentially. And then the length of stay is the other big difference between these. So the non-O, which is what I use to get into Thailand, gives you initially a 90-day non-O permit to get you into the country, and then you file for an extension after 90 days. The non-OA gets you in 1 year right off the bat. You enter Thailand with a full year.
Right.
The non-OX gets you 5 years, and the LTR visa gets you 10 years. So those are the differences between those visas. Yeah. And we'll concentrate now on the non-O and the non-OA for the rest of the video.
Okay, now second question. What are the key requirements and benefits of the non-O retirement visa?
Okay, so the non-O, again, that's the one that I came in on. You have to be over 50. And let's go in more into the details of that visa in particular. So this visa, the one distinguishing characteristic is you can start it in your home country. So we did about half of the steps in the U.S. That gets you the 90-day entry stamp, essentially. And then you come into Thailand and you finish the rest of the process. All right, so with this one, you have to be over 50 years old. And number 2 and 3 here are the same across all the visa types we mentioned. You have to not be prohibited from entering Thailand, and you have to be applying from a place where you have residency, and you can prove that. Number 4 here is you have to have a bank, you have to have assets that you can prove, and that is no less than 800,000 Thai baht, which is about $25,000, $30,000, or an income certificate kind of showing that you have monthly income of at least 65,000 Thai baht. And then you also just have to show that you have accommodations when you get to the country, and also they want to have proof of your flight itinerary to show when you're coming in. Now I want to take a time to talk about the pros and the cons of this visa type, the non-O, and they've shifted a little bit for me. So when I first looked at this visa and decided to use that one, the pros seemed a little to outweigh the cons, and now I'm not sure today, looking back, if I feel the same way. So let's break that down. So for the pros, you get to start abroad and finish in Thailand. Why is that a benefit? Essentially, when we decided we wanted to move to Thailand, we wanted to get here. You know, you're anxious to get there. And so we could get to Thailand sooner with this option, do a few of the steps in the U.S., and then finish up when you're already in Thailand. We saw that as a pro. Next, you do not need to show proof of health insurance. So if you're going to come here and you didn't want to do health insurance, you're going to do a pay-as-you-go plan because medical coverage is pretty inexpensive here. That seemed appealing. Also, there's no criminal background check required. So for the U.S., that would be the FBI criminal background check. Very easy to do.
Yeah.
You do have to, you can get it in a day, but then you have to have the apostille done of it. And then finally, no medical certificate required. And this medical certificate is just to show that you don't have any communicable diseases or anything that Thailand would be concerned about. It's not sort of a health check in any way, just to make sure you don't have, like I said, any things that they wouldn't want you to have coming into Thailand. All right, now let's talk about the cons here, because they're big cons, I'll be honest. So the first one is you have to maintain 800,000 Thai baht in a Thai bank account. That's important, and you have to park that money there, essentially. So when we got here, I opened a Thai bank account, transferred over. That's the equivalent of, like, say, $28,000. So, and that has to sit there. You can't really use it. It can go down after a few months to 400,000 Thai baht, but it then has to be back up 3 months before your 1-year renewal. So more or less, in practical terms, it has to just sit there.
Yeah.
And you can't use it, and that's frustrating. Number two, the money that you have there has to season or stay in that bank account for 60 days before you can even file for the 1-year extension. And there's a 90-day clock on that. So in that case, you can see how you need a lease to open a bank account, which means really you have to find a place to live in 3 weeks.
Yeah.
That time constraint became much more of a con once we got here than when I looked at it from the U.S. point of view.
True.
And finally, again, that time pressure really sinks in, because it not only puts pressure on you, but it affects the place you end up living. You may not get the place you were going to look because you didn't have enough time. So probably 3 weeks in, we had to have a place, get a lease, takes a week to open a bank account, transfer money over, has to sit there for 60 days. Then you can file for the 1-year extension and hope that your 90 days hasn't run out. So those are big cons. And looking back today, I think the cons outweigh the pros, in my opinion.
I agree. So now the third question is, what are the key requirements and benefits of the non-OA retirement visa?
Okay, so for the non-OA, some of the requirements are the same, but a few are different, and those differences are key, and really, I think, break down to which one you're going to use to apply here. So let's look into those. So 1, 2, and 3 are all the same. You got to be over 50, not prohibited from entering, and you have to be applying from a place where you're a resident. Those are pretty standard. Now, this is where it gets different. Number 4, you have to have proof of health insurance. That covers Thailand, and it has to have a 3 million Thai baht minimum coverage. So that's one distinction. The next one is you do have to have that medical certificate from your doctor just saying you have no kind of communicable type diseases that are prohibited in Thailand. Very easy to get again. And then also you have to have that FBI criminal background check.
Right.
Again, like I said, it's not difficult to get, but it's another thing you do have to worry about. So those are 3 things that you don't have to have with the non-O. Other than that, it's the same. You just have to show you have the financial requirements and show your itinerary coming into Thailand.
Yeah.
All right. So those are some similarities and differences. And now let's look at the pros and cons of the non-O. All right. So the pros of the non-O: 1, you do not need to park 800,000 Thai baht in a Thai bank. You can have that money in any foreign bank or your home bank. It does not have to be parked in Thailand. Number 2, no timeline pressure to find a place and sign a lease. Again, you receive the 1-year visa from the get-go. So when you land in Thailand, you're good for a year. And that ended up being a much bigger pro than I originally thought it was.
Right.
Okay, so the cons. We talked about these already. You have to have Thai health insurance coverage required, criminal background check, and the medical certificate. And looking back today, I would say in this case, the pros outweigh the cons in this example.
Yeah.
Unlike the non-O.
I agree.
Yeah.
So next question. if you were starting over, which retirement visa will you choose and why?
I think I would strongly consider the non-OA. Most countries in the world, we were looking at moving to Spain, Portugal,
Mexico.
So many countries have a requirement that you have to do the complete visa application and be approved before you ever step foot in the country. Now I understand why. And
Yeah.
we're going to talk about next about what's going wrong for us, and how it's causing all sorts of problems. But there's a real benefit to having everything in order before you
Yeah.
step off that plane. So that's given that, and I think that 90-day crunch to find, to do the 1-year extension, I think I would do the non-OA today.
I agree.
Don't you think so?
I agree with all the things we've been going through.
Yeah.
With the visa process, especially for me,
Yeah.
we would have chosen a different path, I
I
think.
think so. And having 800,000 Thai baht sitting in the Thai bank that I can't really use, it's just frustrating. It's
It
still
is.
our money,
Yeah,
but it is frustrating.
it is.
With the non-OA, you don't have to do that. You don't have the 90-day rush. And you do, you get in with everything covered. There's just a lot less stress. So I think if I was doing it again today, I would get the non-OA. And I will say, if you're someone who, there's the deal breakers for some people might just be, hey, you don't want to have the health insurance here. In that case, you would do the O. But if you're someone who's coming here that does plan to have health insurance anyway, I would not even consider the O. I would do the OA.
Yeah.
That's my opinion today.
I agree. Yeah.
Yeah.
So my next question is, what is the non-O dependent visa and who is it for?
All right, so the non-O dependent visa is what Jenny is trying to get still. This is if you have your spouse or dependents that are under 50. So if Jenny had been over 50, we would have probably just done the non-OA or non-O or non-OA for her. But because, she's 46 now, we decided to do the non-O dependent. On paper, it looks really easy.
Yeah.
Once the main visa holder, the non-O, in my case, the non-O was granted, which it has been, you just essentially are adding your spouse to and getting the non-O dependent. It seems really straightforward, but there is a big requirement with the marriage certificate. So I'll put this on the screen here. So for the marriage certificate, there's really 4 steps to it. And of all the steps in this visa process, this actually will take the longest. So if anyone out there is having to do the non-O dependent, really pay attention to this part, because this can throw your whole plan and a wrench into it, which it did for us. First thing you want to do is get the marriage certificate certified at the state level. We were married in the Virgin Islands, so I went and requested 4 copies, certified copies, and we received those back, all embossed, ready to go. We thought we were done. And through a miscommunication, I think, with our visa agent, we were under the impression that we just take that with us to Thailand and we have some sort of translation done, and that was it. It turns out there's a lot more to it, and this can take 2 to 3 months. So step 2 is you need to have it authenticated at the federal level through the U.S. State Department. This step is where we're still hung up. We sent it in over 11 weeks ago. They acknowledged they received it. We've got no word of where it is. It certainly seems to be lost at this point. So we're having to do that step completely over again.
Yeah.
So we expect that to take another 2 months. And then step 3 is once you get that authentication from the federal government, the U.S. federal government, you then send it on to the Royal Thai Embassy to have this final sort of approval done by the Royal Thai Embassy. And for us, that's in Washington, D.C., based on where we were in Texas.
Yeah.
So that Thai embassy might be different depending on where you live. So those 2 steps, 2 and 3, I can't tell you enough. You need to do those in the United States.
Yeah.
So we made the mistake of having to do them here from Thailand. It's almost impossible. I can't send a UPS package directly to them. I can't get a money order from here. So I had to sort of ask my brother to help out. And so we had to spend a couple $100 to send all the information, the marriage certificate, to my brother, who then is going to send it via UPS to the State Department. They had to include a return envelope. And then once they get it, send it off to the Royal Thai Embassy with a return envelope, and eventually send it back to us. So all of that hassle would have been
Yeah.
just wonderful if we'd been able to do that in the United States. So kind of a real unfortunate mishap there. And then that fourth step is you just want to have once you have it all, you bring it here and you have the Thai translation, you go to immigration. Jenny would then get the non-O dependent visa. Her visa expiration would align with mine, and we would be on 1-year rotation renewal. And unfortunately, that hasn't gone the way we planned. So because it got lost, this has been a real hassle for Jenny here. So she came in, the way that non-O dependent works is she came in on a tourist visa. Because we didn't have it all in order, she came in on a tourist visa, and we thought, okay, she has 60 days, and then you can do an extension for 30 days. So 90 days, originally we came in, we thought, no problem. We should be able to get this all done, but that hasn't happened, as I mentioned. So what happened for you when your 90 days came up?
Well, I got in, like you said, on a 60-day visa.
Yeah.
I got an extension for extra 30 days. So I had 90, but because that paper never came to us, I had to do a border run to Malaysia. And even though it's just, one day you get there and turn around, still, it's an expense.
And hassle.
Yeah, extra stress.
Yeah.
And I had to do that twice already.
Yeah, so I'll just add that the first time you get an extension here, you get the 30 days.
30 days.
The second time we thought, oh, she's going to get 30 days again, but it turns out she only got 7 days extension on the second time after that first border run. And that's because we found out Thailand only offers a 30-day extension once per calendar year.
Yeah.
So she got the 30, then the 7, and that was 2025. So now, after your first border run, you had to do a second border run.
I had to do it late December.
Late December.
And so I came in, and I have 60 days, which they're going to expire February 22nd, I believe.
Yep.
And then I'm going to go and try to get an extension for extra 30 days.
Which we've been told is 30 because it's by calendar year. So even though this is her third extension, it's by calendar year. So it's the first of 2026. So we're hoping she gets a 30-day extension, which would take her till about March 20th, let's say.
So now we're thinking about going a different route.
Yeah, because we're having to do the whole marriage certificates authentication over. We've kind of lost faith that that's ever going to work. It could take 3 months, even if it worked out.
Or longer.
Or longer. So we're now going to have to switch visa types and go with the education visa. So now we're looking at enrolling Jenny in either a Thai language course, a Thai cooking class, and those are varying durations, and they're another $1,000 probably for that.
Yeah.
So the expenses just keep adding up. Yeah. So I don't know if it's a 3-month or a 6-month class. We're hoping that if she does that, maybe the marriage certificate will come through, and then we could add her someday as a non-O dependent. If that doesn't come through and we keep having to do this, I think we're probably considering now just leaving Thailand.
Yeah.
Just doesn't seem worth it.
And I think for the viewers that are watching, one thing that has hurt us is that there was a government shutdown in the U.S.
Oh, that's true.
So that delayed everything.
Yeah.
And the first marriage certificate that we mailed back got lost. They got it, but it was never processed. So we had to do it again. And hopefully this time they'll get it and it gets processed and it gets back to us.
So hang in there. All right.
I'll try.
Yeah. And if we are able to get this all complete, we'll do another video, of course. Yeah. Hopefully.
All right, next question is, what did your actual visa process and timeline look like from start to arrival?
Okay, so I'll kind of put a timeline on the screen here. This will apply for both the O and the OA and kind of call out the differences. But essentially, I think you can look at it as steps you need to do in before you get to Thailand. So you do these in the US, and then things you'll do after you arrive. So first thing you want to do, and again, this step 1 is specifically if you have to do the non-O dependent visa.
Like we do.
I put this at number 1 because it's without question the most time consuming. And this could really trip up all your plans. So if you're going to get the non-O dependent, do that first. That could take 3 to 4 months, quite honestly. Okay, then number 2 I have marked as optional here is to contact a visa agent, which we did. And then step 3, gathering all your documents to send off to your visa agent. And that includes, again, just for the non-OA, you're going to have steps 4 and 5 here. You're going to have the FBI criminal background check, and you're going to have that proof of health insurance, and also the medical certificate. But then once you have all of that, either your visa agent or you yourself are going to apply for the e-visa, and that's going to get you either your non-O or your non-OA. That kind of gets you into immigration on arrival. Then on the other side here, you have your steps to have to do in Thailand. Obviously, you're arriving in Thailand, you're going to get your visa stamp. It's either going to be the 90-day non-O, which I received, or the 1-year non-OA. If you're on the non-O track, you then have to, step 9 here, you have to get that condo lease and TM30. The TM30 is just really kind of a legal document that shows you have a signed lease. So those you have to get either way. Obviously, you have to find a place to live and you get the TM30 with either visa, but with the non-O, you have to get it within 30 days, essentially. Then you have to open a Thai bank account. This is, again, for the non-O only, and you have to transfer over your 800,000 Thai baht. Then step 11, you're applying for that 1-year extension before your 90 days run out. Again, this is for the non-O only. That's pretty straightforward. You go down to immigration to take care of that. You just take that TM30 and your lease with you, along with all the other documents that you did to kind of apply for it in the U.S. You have all that together, and you go in. So on step 11, I had my non-O visa for a year. The only step you have after that, and you'll have, I guess, forever, as long as you're in Thailand, is this 90-day check-in. And all that really is just to kind of verify where you live at that 90-day mark. And so I've done that once. So the very first time you do that, you have to do it in person at the immigration office. Pretty simple, frankly. In addition to all the other documents that you'll bring, you just want to have that TM30 in your lease.
Right.
That's the key here, is they want to know where you live, essentially. A tip I'd give there, if you do go in person, at least at the Bangkok Chiang Watana immigration offices, we got there, it opens at 8:30, we got there at 9:30, and it took 5 hours. Easy to do, but that's, we grabbed lunch, we tried to kill some time, but 5 hours is 5 hours. If you can get there when they open at 8:30, I think you cut that down to about 3. So try to get there earlier, I guess, would be my main tip on that.
I guess the great thing is that moving forward, you won't have to do it in person.
Correct. I'm glad you mentioned that. So
yeah.
now every 90-day check-in, they give you your day you have to do it. It's just done online, and it's free.
Yeah,
So,
easy.
Yeah, nothing to it.
All right, next question. Can people realistically do it themselves and save $1,000 in agent fees?
I believe so. Having gone through the experience, and I would say if it were 2024 or before that e-visa site came online, I would say you absolutely would need to have an agent. But I'll show this site here, and you can kind of see how it works. It's extremely intuitive, easy to use. You fill it out, upload documents, you have a back and forth if you're missing anything, and eventually they're going to send you, and for my case, you get an e-visa, which was stamped non-immigrant O visa, gave me 90 days. I came into immigration in Thailand. I handed them that form. They stamped my passport with non-O 90-day stamp. And when we were shopping for visa agents, one of them even very clearly, that's not the one I ended up going with, but they very clearly in their communication with me said, we will help you navigate the Thai e-visa website. So they all but really said that I send them the documents and they're going to basically upload them through this same portal. So if you're organized, you have attention to detail, and you can follow the timeline, I would say absolutely you can do this yourself today. If you want to avoid the stress, I don't want to dissuade anyone from using an agent.
Right.
They certainly can be helpful. There's a lot of gray things and gray areas and things you don't understand. So they can be helpful. Doing it over, I would not use a visa agent today.
Okay. Okay, so now the next question. Once in Thailand, what was required to extend the non-O from 90 days to a year?
Okay, I think I covered this a little bit. It really wasn't that difficult. You're going to bring the same documents you've uploaded to the Thai website, your financial statements. They kind of want everything, but the main thing they're looking for is the TM30. They want to show that you have a signed lease for a year that you're going to be here. And the other thing that you do need to bring is when you open a bank account, you'll receive a bank book. It's a actual paper copy of this thing, and you'll just want to go to the bank the day of the morning of your visit. When you do this extension, is because they're going to stamp this book, and I'll show a screenshot of it here, with every transaction you've had up to that day, the day of that you go there, to show that you do have 800,000 Thai baht in that bank account.
Right.
So make sure you not only have that with you, but that it's updated to the day you go.
Yeah.
Between the TM30 and that, those are two of the two main things, I guess I would say.
Okay.
And then they gave me the 1-year stamp, and I was good to go.
Okay, so next question and last question.
Okay.
What surprised you the most about the visa process?
I would say the thing that surprised me the most, and it's really an inaccuracy, I think it's worth pointing out, is if you look on all the documentation, they list 2 financial requirements. One is you have 800,000 Thai baht, or $30,000 in your bank account, or, and it's a big or, you can prove that you have 65,000 Thai baht in monthly income. Those are the 2 listed criteria. It doesn't say and, it says or.
Or.
So while we were having my money in the bank for 60 days, and I knew that 60th day was going to hit on the last day of my visa, we were starting to panic. I thought, hey, let's do the other option. Why am I doing this 800,000 Thai baht thing? Let's just go with the 65,000 monthly income. My Social Security monthly payment, and from the Social Security website, you get a proof, essentially, that is accepted, that shows your monthly award that you'll have for life. And my award exceeded the 65,000 Thai baht. So we thought we were good to go. We went in early to immigration before that 60-day seasoning of the money and said, hey, I can prove it this way. Let's go with this. And they said, no, we don't consider that. So we heard from 2 different immigration officers at Chengwatana Immigration, who both said they don't even consider that option. They only look at the 800,000 Thai baht for 60 days. And we also heard from 2 different visa agents, one here in Bangkok and one in Pattaya, who basically both said the same thing. You have to have the 800,000 in the bank. So keep that in mind. I would be very hesitant to rely on that 65,000 monthly.
Yeah.
Didn't work for us. Maybe it does in other parts of Thailand, but I'm going to say I think you're probably going to just have to have that 800,000 in the bank for 60 days. So yeah, I was surprised.
Yeah.
I really thought that was going to work. They should either remove it or accept it.
Yeah.
But
I agree.
yeah, so that was a big surprise.
Okay.
All right, so we covered a lot in the video today. Any final thoughts?
Well, if you're thinking about moving to Thailand, I hope this video was helpful.
Absolutely. And I would say that we hope to update this video once everything's finalized. It could be 3-6 months. We'll send an update, and hopefully we do it in Thailand and not having to move somewhere else. But again, we'll have all sorts of links and information in the description. And we'd love to hear from you if you've gone through the process. Maybe you've had to do the non-dependent visa. Love to hear how that worked out for you. Or any other questions that you have, be sure to let us know and we'll get back to you.
And don't forget to like and subscribe.
Yes, absolutely. And thanks so much for watching.
Yes.
All right. Bye now.
Bye.